Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. A few short months ago, Playerunknown's Battlegrounds destroyed expectations and exploded into early access, selling over 2 million units in the first 2 months of the game's release. The last man standing survival shooter game has since become the flavor of the month for Twitch streamers, as its sometimes tense gameplay can make for captivating watching. It actually reminded me of Hunger Games of a sort, and it seems the fandom that has sprung up around this game has been nothing short of impressive. This game appears to be trying very hard to be the final nail in the coffin of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and that would seem to include CSGO's business model as well. It was announced some time ago that this game would also include a randomized loot crate with a paid key system that would essentially mirror CSGO. This would of course be used for cosmetic items of different types and rarities. This system, however, was publicly stated as not being implemented until after the game left early access. However, according to the monthly update that was released yesterday, July 25th, it seems that the monetization within the game is going to occur a little bit sooner than expected, at least for a while. Playerunknown announced that they would be releasing 3 loot crates for the Playerunknown's Battlegrounds Invitational to take place at this year's Gamescom. The crates themselves can be purchased with the game's battle points in the rewards page within the game, and 2 of these crates, the Wanderer crate and the Survivor crate, will be free to open. However, the Gamescom Invitational crate can only be opened with a key that is purchased for $2.50. Playerunknown has stated that once Gamescom is completed on August 27th, the paid crate will be removed and the system will go back to being free to open. Of course, there are a good number of people out there that feel that this is breaking a promise, that this shows the initial signs of the inherent greed that goes along with the business model that is planned for when the game leaves early access. There are also those that are perfectly fine with this decision, seeing it as more of an opportunity, and then there are still more that are worried that this business model will more closely resemble CSGO in more ways than one. CSGO's current business model gave rise to a massive multi-billion-dollar per year gambling economy and also allowed some of the largest pieces of scum on the internet to flourish. People like Trevor Martin and Tom Castle, and yes, I know I'm mispronouncing his name, I really don't care enough to get it right. You see, these 2 people in particular and their actions are the only sort that can still manage to get me to fully lose my temper. People that have raked in millions of dollars running a gambling website that catered to people as young as 13 years old by misleading and misdirecting their own viewers on YouTube. They are people that I still refer to as tuberculotic sputum, and they have very much earned that title for a wide variety of reasons. Now, Valve has basically shut down the CSGO gambling sites, but what many don't realize is that this has only given rise to a new form of gambling in crate opening sites. These sites, most of which whose item drop percentages can be directly manipulated by the owners of those sites, are every bit as shady and also every bit as lucrative as CSGO skin gambling sites like CSGO Lotto were. And with Playerunknown's business model now being better understood, many people are concerned that this same form of economy will spring up around this new game, and they're very much right to do so because it is all but an absolute certainty at this point that it will happen. The game will implement a system to attempt to awaken the gambling urge in many people. That's what these systems do. With items of increasing rarity, a new economy will spring up around this game, and to my mind, the concerns that it will be anti-consumer are most likely completely justified. The reason behind that opinion is the developer's statement that there will most likely not be any more free crates once the game leaves early access. And I know that some people will bring up games like Overwatch and others when the mention of skins and loot crates are mentioned, and yes, while loot crates can be purchased for real-world money in Overwatch, they're still not nearly as objectionable. This isn't because of the game or the graphics or even the developers, it's because all of the cosmetics within Overwatch can also be obtained without someone spending any money. Gaining levels and playing special events will still earn you loot crates that can be opened with no additional money changing hands outside of the base cost of the game. Also, skins, voice lines, and everything else within the game are not transferable. It's not designed to be a giant self-sustaining cash cow in that regard. Everything about Blizzard's systems are far more consumer-friendly than what is being implemented here. Now with Battlegrounds, once the game is launched, every crate will require a key to open, which will most likely cost that same $2.50, which is exceptionally poor value for the consumer. Oh yes, you can potentially win a rare item worth far more money than you invested, but I would direct your attention back to CSGO's gambling economy yet again. $2.3 billion in 2015 alone. That money had to come from somewhere. It doesn't just appear out of the ether, and where it came from was out of the pockets of gamers, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is poised to do the same. So while millions of gamers are excited for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, those that maintain a healthy cynicism look on in dismay. As always, please feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below. I know that my particular views will not be popular across the board, but I'm interested in hearing not just those opinions that mirror my own, but differing opinions as well. Maybe if we have enough good points raised, we can do a follow-up on this topic and explore it a little further. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.